They say laughter is timeless, but what happens when the show that made us laugh also made us feel like family? Welcome to Black Destiny. Today we're throwing it back to Martin. A show that wasn't just comedy, but a culture. So grab a seat, let's press rewind and relive the magic that is still very powerful even after 33 years. What happens when a woman is the full package? Brains, beauty, and a heart that forgives even the craziest mistakes. At the youthful age of 23, Tisha Campbell stepped into the heels of Regina Gina Waters-Payne, a woman who redefined strength, love, and ambition. She wasn't just the girlfriend or the wife, she was a force. A hardworking businesswoman who climbed the corporate ladder while holding down a love life that tested every ounce of her patience. She was fiercely independent, but love softened her edges. Elegant yet fiery, she could outclass, outsmart, and outargue anyone in the room. Yet, she never lost sight of what mattered most. Beneath the lipstick and power suits was a woman who knew her worth, but loved hard anyway. She could shut down an argument with a look, or win one with a single word. Strong, stylish, and seductive. Gina wasn't just a character, she was a mood. How do you stay humble when you know you're the whole package? Tichina Arnold was only 22 at the time when she beautifully carved Pamela James. A woman who walked with confidence, spoke with fire, and never second-guessed what she brought to the table. She wasn't just looking for love, she wanted a partner who matched her ambition, her drive, and maybe even her bank account. She knew exactly who she was and what she deserved. She wasn't about to waste her time on men who didn't measure up. She wanted success, ambition, and a whole lot of money to go with it. And if she had to go through a few dudes to find the right one, so be it. Pam's beauty turned heads, but it was her sharp tongue, fearless attitude, and unmatched energy that made her unforgettable. If you tried her, she had a comeback ready before you could blink, and when it came to standing her ground, she wasn't moving for anybody. Ever wonder what happens when you speak your mind without holding back? By the time he was 26, Martin Lawrence fully embraced the character of Martin Payne, a man who didn't just speak his mind, he owned the conversation. As Gina Waters' boyfriend turned husband, Martin made sure everyone heard him, whether they liked it or not. A radio DJ turned talk show host, he was sharp, unpredictable, and always on time. Martin didn't let anything slide. If you crossed him, you got roasted. If you doubted him, he proved you wrong, and if you tried to out-talk him, good luck with that. But beyond the noise was a man who showed us how to hustle, stand firm, and never lose yourself in the process. His grind was relentless, his energy unmatched, and his love, though buried under sarcasm, was as real as it gets. Martin taught us that no matter where life takes you, one thing stays the same. Your voice is your power, so use it. How do you define loyalty? Is it showing up even when nobody asked, or sticking around even when you bring nothing to the table but vibes and a good appetite? Kicking it at 22 years old, Carl Anthony Payne II took on the identity of Cole Brown, one of Martin's best friends. The guy who might not have been the sharpest tool in the shed, but damned if he wasn't the most loyal. Whether he was cracking up at the wrong time, dropping clueless one-liners, or writing for his friends, no matter what, Cole reminded us that being yourself is enough. He had a heart bigger than his common sense, and somehow that made him unforgettable. His hustle might have been questionable, his dating choices even worse, but his loyalty, unshakable. He wasn't just Martin's best friend. He was the guy who proved that sometimes showing up and staying true is all that really matters. How do you measure success? By the money you make or the respect you earn? When he turned 28, Thomas Mako Ford impersonated Tommy Strong, the man who walked with quiet confidence, never explaining himself to anyone. His job? A mystery. His influence? Undeniable. While the world around him was loud, messy, and unpredictable, Tommy moved with purpose. Never rattled, never pressed, always 10 steps ahead. He wasn't just Martin's best friend, he was the rock, the one who stayed grounded when everything else spun out of control. He proved that real power isn't about how much you say, but how much weight your words carry. He was proof that a man doesn't have to be flashy to be unforgettable, and that sometimes the biggest flex is letting people wonder. Because when you know your worth, explaining yourself is never necessary. Is confidence about being the center of attention, or is it about never needing to be? When she was 23, Kalita Smith adopted the name Tracy, the woman who turned composure into a superpower. Martin's wild energy, it bounced right off her. His best lines, met with a knowing smile and a level gaze. She wasn't easily impressed. And she never had to prove herself, because true confidence speaks for itself. She was class personified, sophisticated but never cold, witty but never cruel. She never raised her voice, yet somehow she always had the final say. Tracy wasn't just another woman in the room. She was the woman in the room, the kind who made confidence look effortless, whose presence demanded respect without a single word. While others played into the chaos, she held her ground, proving that a true queen never needs a crown to be recognized. She just is. What's worse, being the odd one out, or being the guy everyone forgets was even there? Upon turning 34, John Grease assumed the role of Sean McDermott, the guy who slid into the scene like he belonged. Even if nobody was sure why. He wasn't the loudest, the flashiest, or the most memorable, but he was always there, floating between Martin's antics and the madness around him, catching strays and cracking jokes like he'd known them forever. Sean had that effortless way of fitting in without trying too hard, proof that sometimes it's not about stealing the spotlight, but knowing when to throw in a punchline and keep it moving. He taught us that you don't always need to be the main act to leave a mark. Sometimes just showing up, rolling with the punches, and laughing through the chaos is enough. And somehow, without even trying, he became a part of the story. John Grease is the chameleon of Hollywood. Always adapting, always unforgettable. Ever met a boss who could sell you a dream and snatch it back before you even blink? As a proud 55-year-old middle-aged man, Garrett Morris turned into Stan Winters, the smooth-talking, cologne-drenched hustler who ran Woz Up radio station like it was his personal casino. Always scheming, always cutting corners, Stan had a knack for making promises he had no intention of keeping. His outfits were straight out of a 70s time capsule, his morals just as outdated. But his hustle? Relentless. He could spin a lie so good you almost wanted to believe it, until your paycheck came up short. Cheap, unpredictable, and never one to pass up a bad idea, Stan taught us that some people will do anything to stay ahead, even if it means staying stuck in the past. Love him or hate him, one thing was certain. When Stan Winters walked in, you never knew if you were getting a job, a scam, or just a headache. What's the difference between a dreamer and a hustler? The dreamer waits, the hustler moves. At 27, Tracy Morgan stepped into the role of hustle man, a walking, talking business plan with no investors, just pure ambition and a duffel bag full of exclusive deals. If there was a way to flip it, he found it. If there was a price, he negotiated it. He wasn't just selling, he was storytelling, spinning every ridiculous product into a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Sure, his goods were questionable, but his confidence unshakable. He made the impossible sound like a steal, proving that in the game of life, half the battle is how you sell it. Hustle Man wasn't just a character, he was a mindset, because when you're built to hustle, every conversation is a business deal, and every day is another chance to close. They say laughter is the best medicine, but what happens when the jokes run out? Valentino Watson, brought to life by a 31-year-old Chris Rock, was the ultimate street philosopher, crafty, unpredictable, and armed with a razor-sharp tongue. A hustler by trade, Valentino wasn't just about getting ahead. He was about staying ahead, no matter the odds. His personality was a masterclass in charm, using humor and quick thinking to navigate life's curveballs. But Valentino's story teaches us the double-edged nature of survival through hustle. While his resourcefulness inspires admiration, his schemes reveal the emptiness of short-term victories. Beneath the jokes and smooth talk was a man longing for something real, a legacy beyond the hustle. Chris Rock's portrayal gave Valentino heart, reminding us that intelligence can carry us far, but honesty and self-reflection are what build lasting success. Valentino's story teaches us to laugh at life's struggles, but never stop reaching for something more. They say legends never die, and Martin proved that. The jokes, the love, the unforgettable moment. Still hitting like it's 1992, but time moves on. Some of our favorite faces have changed, some still shine bright, and some, gone but never forgotten, still living on in our hearts. Thanks for watching Martin Cast, Then and Now. Who do you miss the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoy this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more throwbacks. Until next time, keep laughing, keep loving, and keep the memories rolling.